So I'd like to introduce everyone to someone I met about a little over 3 years ago. I met Peter through his coaching program. I was one of his coaching students in the the spring of 2015 is when I went to him for a specific reason. I was wholesaling some deals. We had a lot of inconsistencies in our business. And I don't know if anyone can relate where you have a great month, have a terrible month, have a great month, have a terrible month. Anybody can relate to that? That was me. I went to a guy named Peter Vekselman and asked him specifically to help coach me along that. I wanted more consistency. And Peter, if anyone ever heard of Peter, anyone know Peter? Maybe know him a little bit personally? So if you know Peter personally, he is very no nonsense. He just gets straight to the point. He tells you exactly what it is, exactly what you're doing wrong, and because he wants to help you, and he's going to help you fix your business because he's been very successful at what he's been doing. So he asked me some questions. What are you doing for marketing? This is the biggest question he asked me. He's like, what are you doing for marketing? I said, well, we tested some radio ads. We were on TV. We do bandit signs. We did some Craigslist stuff. We're doing a lot of word of mouth. We do some billboard. We do this. We do this. We're doing all this different stuff. And Peter's just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. So what is producing the best results? Like, where are you getting the majority of your deals from? So, well, it's bandit signs. There's no question. It's bandit signs. At that time, it was bandit signs. And he asked me some questions like, there's a lot of regulations with bandit signs. Do they even allow you to do that in Birmingham? Well, no, but we were doing it and we were putting out a lot and it was working for us. So he said, all right, so here, how many are you putting out? It's like, I'm putting out about 100 every other weekend. He goes, all right, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go and put out 250 every weekend. And I was like, 250? What are you talking about? 250 bandit signs? He's like, yeah, just go out. If that's producing the most amount of deals for you, go out and put up a ton of bandit signs. I don't know if anyone's ever seen my red bandit sign that says we buy houses 765-2222. Anyone ever seen that sign? About 3 years ago, they were all over the city. They were off every exit ramp in the entire city. They were on every pole, every street corner. We had teams of people going out there. Guys, the most consistency I had in my business was that time period to where this is Peter talking. And this is where I got this principle. Go deep, don't go wide with what you're doing. If you are doing, when he asked me that question, what are you doing with your marketing? And I rambled off like 10 different things. He knew immediately that was your problem. What is producing the best results today, and focus solely on that. And then once you get that mastered, then move on to the next thing. And guys, that's the kind of, I know for a fact that's the kind of talk you're going to get tonight from someone I consider to be one of my mentors, one of my coaches in this business. Guys, please stand up to your feet and welcome to Birmingham, Alabama, Mr. Peter Vekselman.
How y'all doing? You guys are going to realize very quickly I'm not a professional speaker. I don't do this for a living. I don't care to do this for a living, but I do have a new mission I'm on in the real estate business. So I don't have a canned speech. I don't have a canned presentation for y'all. I'm here to teach y'all a little bit, and I'm going to tell you here how everyone's life is going to change as a result of meeting me here tonight. Write that down. Literally. I've been in news for 20-some years. Now bought 3,500 properties. Average month, I'll buy about 100 properties. I have offices in Georgia, Florida, all the way to Modesto, California. There's no one in the country that buys as much real estate at this level. I'm not a hedge fund or anything like that. But there's no single individual that does what I do in real estate. None, period. Got my media guys here. I'll go on tape. No one can challenge me. I'm very good at what I do. I want to do three things here today. One, I want to just, I just kind of thought, well, what kind of value? Like I said, I don't have a canned presentation. Not here to pitch you guys anything. Not here to sell you guys anything. I do want you to get some value out of me being here. So one, I'm going to teach you a little bit about negotiations. I think you all could. If there's anyone here that can't value being, or can't get value out of being a better negotiator, then probably shouldn't be in this room, right? I hope you paid some money to get in here, so at least Brian's making some money. Because if you're not negotiating and you're in this business, you're wasting your time. Second thing is, when I'm done with that, I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake everyone's making here. Every one of you is making it. And it should change your lives when I tell you what it is. And the third thing is going to give you guys a solution. How everyone here can go from where you are, 0 to a hero very, very quickly as a result of knowing me. I don't want to sound pompous, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I'm extremely, extremely knowledgeable in this business. We've had, on a call center, that's how many seller calls we get. How many of y'all like to get like so many seller calls you have to actually have a call center? Average, there's days we have 1,000 sellers a day calling. Can you imagine having 1,000 sellers a day calling you? In my call center, there's not like people sitting there taking calls. I mean, there's professional negotiators. I mean, some of these people have been with me for years. We got an absolute machine going. I show up at my office less than an hour a week. Because I didn't get into real estate to be in real estate. Don't really like real estate too much. But I got in real estate because I knew this is one of the businesses you could really leverage things out. Everything I do is automated. Not automated from these little screwed up programs people pitch you. I mean automated through people, because ultimately if you're going to be successful and you want to automate, you got to leverage through people. It's not leveraging through money, it's leveraging through people. So the first thing I told you I'm going to do is I want to give you some value. I want to teach you how I haven't really negotiated deals in years now. I have people that do it for me, but I'm a very good negotiator. I'm probably the best negotiator. I know I'm the best negotiator in the room, bar none. So I'm going to give you some value here. And I don't mean literally I haven't negotiated. I still jump in there every once in a while and help negotiate. But I will tell you the last probably 5 or 6 negotiations I've been a part of, easily I've gotten 40 to 60% discounts. You can get me on the phone with any seller, not literally any seller, but if an average, if I call 100 sellers, I'll get that price down 30 to 40, 50%. And I do it using the exact same technique. I'm going to share it with you all. It's not a secret. I don't have no secrets. Again, I'm not trying to sell you guys anything here today. But when it comes to negotiations, there's an absolute pattern to follow. And if you follow the pattern I'm going to show you, and again, I wasn't even planning on doing this when we were driving up here. I was like, well, what can I talk about? So I thought this would be a good idea. But when you negotiate, although you talk it out, I'm going to give you the mechanics of how to negotiate. But if you hear me negotiate, you got to learn how to talk. And so ultimately, I'm going to give you some mechanics. I'll give you about 4 or 5 steps that if you just follow them to a T, even if you're awful, and most of you will be awful in the beginning, that's okay. But even if you're awful in the beginning, it will yield you results. There's a couple key things you have to understand about negotiations. One, you got to learn when to shut up. Number 2, and these are just concepts, I'll get into it in a second. Next thing, too many of y'all are negotiating over the phone. Don't negotiate over the phone. Do what you got to do to get face to face. See, if I was talking to you right now through Skype, I'd be effective because I'm good, but I'm even more effective talking to you all face to face, right? So the concept, even if you got to drive 2 hours, I'd rather you drive 2 hours down the road and sit with somebody face to face than try to negotiate 4 to 5 deals over the phone at the same time. So learn when to shut up. Understand you're better off face to face. Understand there's a pattern to follow and stick with the pattern that I teach you because it's brilliant. The key to negotiations, one of the key things that you all make, that everyone makes as a mistake when you're negotiating deals is this. Everybody thinks negotiation starts and stops at the point you're negotiating. Kind of like, well, I've tried to negotiate this deal. I need it to be at 100, I got it down to 200, so it's a dead deal. No, that's just the beginning of negotiations. Almost all y'all make the same mistake. You think you're like, I didn't get the price, so I'm done. No, that's totally wrong. Sophisticated negotiators like myself, we negotiate all the way to the closing table. So the first time you negotiate, even if you can't get it right, it's okay, that's just the beginning. If you do get it right the first time, it's still just the beginning. In my office, check this out, listen to this. In my office, 80% of all the deals get negotiated the day before closing. Can you imagine 80% at my level? At my level. So one of the biggest problems you'll have with negotiations, if we're negotiating deals 24 hours before closing, that means we're going into these deals knowing they ain't good deals, right? We're battling till the last minute. One of the biggest problems you guys are having with negotiations, you back away too quick. It's like, oh, no deal, I'm done. No, you gotta battle. You gotta battle all the way till the closing table. So let's start. I'm gonna write this. Can you all see this? Don't worry if you can't see it, because I can't really spell well. So I'm just gonna scribble. All right, I'm going to give you a couple key components to negotiations. Remember, ultimately, this is a conversation you're going to have. Step one, price. Battle to get the price out of your seller. Battle. So it starts off with the same thing you guys all say. What will you take for this property, right? That's where all the negotiation starts. Do whatever you have to do to get the price out of the seller. Write the number 6 right next to the price. What 6 means is you're going to get 6 no's at this point before you give up on trying to get a price. Well, Bobby, what would you take for this house? Well, hell, Pete, you called me. I know, Bobby, but just give me an idea. Pete, I haven't even thought about it. You sent me this silly postcard. I wasn't even thinking about selling. I know, Bobby. Make me happy. Give me a number. So I'm going to go back and forth 6 times, even though he's backing away. I don't want to give you a price. I don't know what the price. I wasn't thinking of selling. You contacted me. The same crap you all get, right? Battle to get the price. Because that's got to be your first win. When you negotiate, you got to count your wins. You better get your first win right here. All negotiations, it's just it's all psychological BS. It's not really price. It's who's tougher mentally. That's it. It's all the best negotiators screw with your mind. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So you got to subconsciously start winning without telling them that you're winning. Now, you guys are going to see somewhere along the line here, I'm going to let him start winning, because then I'm going to start really screwing with him. But one, you're going to get the price, right? And this is a statistic that everybody here should know, right? Whoever says the price first does what? Loses. Whoever says the price first loses. Everybody should, it's all right. You're nervous. Now, interestingly enough, watch this. Follow me on this. Very interesting right here. No matter what happens here, whether he gives you a price or he doesn't give you a price, the same thing will happen. But let's go down the direction. If you're going to battle with him 6 times, 9 out of 10 times, you should be able to get a price out of him. 100% of the time, out of 100 tries, I will get a price out of the seller. I'm very good. I've been doing it for 20 years. I'll get out of 100 tries, I will get a price out of 100 times. You all should be able to get it 9 out of 10 times because you're going to go at it 6 times. All right, step 2, negotiations. Watch what you do next. When he gives you a price, the natural tendency then for most people is to think the ball is in your court. Like, I want 100. So most people immediately think, okay, well now the ball's in my court, so I got to do something. I got to give a counter price, right? 80. Never ever do that. Step number 2 in negotiations, write this down. Have the seller negotiate against himself. Write it down. Have the seller negotiate against himself. Here's what happens next. No matter what the price is, good price, bad price, we're a million miles on, off, whatever, I'm going to ask the next question. Or something like this. Is that the lowest you'll take? So maybe he said 100. He's like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll take 98. Don't stop. You got a brilliant negotiator. He's about ready to negotiate against himself. I'm going to keep on asking questions as long as he's coming down, right? Well, Bobby, what if I can close quickly? Well, hell, I don't know, take 97. So you will continuously ask questions at this point. Do not give a price. You will continuously ask closing questions. What's the lowest you'll take? What if I close quickly? What if I have no contingencies? What if I pay cash? What if the sky is blue? As long as he's coming down, you can just let him negotiate, right? So you're going to ask, and he's going to negotiate. He's going to come down. So maybe now he's come down from 100 to 95. You haven't even given him a price. You just got a 5% reduction, maybe 10%. When do you stop asking questions? Watch this. Listen to this. When he says the same price 3 times. And write that down because this is going to be very important as you continue negotiations, this 3-time thing. So I'm going to stop having him negotiate himself against himself till he says 94. Well, Bobby, what if I close quickly? 94. Bobby, what if I got no contingencies? Pete, I frickin' said 94. There you go. I got my 3 no's. I'm going to stop right now. So let's say I got him from 100 to 94. Next is the first time I'm going to give a price. Very important what price I give here. I will automatically, guys, and remember, I might not even know. Here's another mistake so many people make. Well, I don't know what the value is. Who cares? At worst, you're getting a good deal, right? Well, I got to check Zillow. I got to call my realtor. Hell, when you got that seller on the phone, don't lose them. When you're sitting in front of that seller, don't lose them. Negotiate. Just remember, anytime you're talking to a seller, you're negotiating. So I don't care what the value is. People are like always, well, I got to figure out what the value is. You know, in my whole call center, when my girls are negotiating, a lot of times they can't even pull it up quick enough. Like, we don't know what the value is. They might be negotiating in Wisconsin. We don't know how well Zillow works in Wisconsin. Negotiate, right? So, time to give the price. What price do you give? Automatically, 35 to 45% below his number. Don't even think about it. Just go 35 to 45% below. But the word, I want you to write this word down right now. Write it down. I can't even pronounce it. Absorbently. How do you pronounce that? You're a country guy. You don't know. Big price drop. Big price drop. Yes. Absorbent. Yes. Yes. Absorbent, whatever that is. Low. Automatically. Here's why most of y'all will not do that. Remember, I don't even know what the value is. It's pointless to know the value is right now. Now, if I know what the value is, it only helps me. And you all, because you live here, you should know the values. But I don't care what the value is. See, this is one of the biggest mistakes you guys make right here. When you're negotiating, he's at 94, you're too scared to piss him off, right? You're too worried. Quit being scared. Let me tell you why you have to go extraordinarily low. For only one reason. Write this word down. You're going extraordinarily low to get the emotion out of the seller. Remember, it's all psychological, it's all emotional. So I'm going to go in maybe here at 55. Not because I think he's going to give it to me at 55. I want to know what he's thinking. I can't ask him what he's thinking. But when I piss him off, he's going to tell me what he's thinking. Again, remember, he thinks he's in control. I'm in control. And I'm trying to get him off his game by actually pissing him off, because none of us make good decisions when we're upset, right? So everyone's like, well, I don't want to get the seller upset. Idiot, get him upset, because people make bad decisions when they're off their rocker, right? Now watch this, listen, this is very important. I'm going 55 to get his emotions out. There's going to be one of two emotions that happens here. Emotion number one, get the hell out of my house. Who do you think I am? What does that tell me? That tells me I'm way off. Right? That's okay. I got to know where I'm at. Right? But listen, watch this. This is important. Here's what you're looking for. Write this down. You're looking for ums and I don't knows. Oh gosh, I don't know about that. Or ooh, that low. Those are that's a positive. That's a closure. I'm killing him at that point. I might not get him at 55, but when he starts hawing, like, oh, I don't know. I got him. I'm close, right? So the reason you're going extraordinarily low, right up there, is to get an idea where his head is at. Are you way off? Or are you kind of in the ballpark and then you just kind of massage the whole thing, right? Make sense? Now, very important. Next to this 55, write this word, my favorite word. Shut up. When you negotiate and you give a price, you never talk. Ever. In any part of negotiations, 100% of the time when you give the price, shut up. Because think about it. Now watch this. Listen to this. Because so much of this is logical, but you all are just stepping all over yourselves. Not you personally, but just people that negotiate. What can you possibly say at this point that's going to help you? Nothing. What can you do? You know what you're going to do? The only way you're going to talk is you're going to try to justify it. And when you're justifying something, you're telling the other person you yourself don't believe it. So there's nothing you could say. What are you going to do? Go lower? No. So when that silence starts, the only thing you could say at that point is, okay, I'll pay 65. Well, that's idiotic. He hasn't said anything yet. You could say, I'll pay 45. Well, that makes you look like an idiot too. And so what most people do to break that silence is you start justifying it, right? Well, it needs a lot of work. Subconsciously, he's winning because he knows your butt doesn't believe in your own price. So when you give a price, shut the heck up. And the longer the silence, the better it is. The longer the silence. People do not like to be felt uncomfortable because most people are very weak. Very weak. They can't handle uncomfortable situations. They rather back out. And the way they back out is going to do a price drop. So, here we go. Watch this. We're back to negotiations. You're at 55. You're getting him to shut up. You're shutting up. You're trying to get an uncomfortable silence here. Remember, he could either be totally pissed, that way you know you're way off, or he could be like, oh gosh, I don't know. I haven't even thought I could do this low. You got him. When he starts, those are buying words or selling words. Okay, those are great words. Okay? Now, if the silence goes for a minute, you're winning. The longer the silence, the better you like it. So just wait it out. By the way, if on that initial price, when you went at him 6 times and he finally just shut you down like, Pete, I ain't giving you a price, I'm automatically going to start low. See what I mean? So whether he gives me a price, I'm going low, or if he doesn't give me a price, I'm going low to get that emotion out, right? All right. No matter what happens next, whether he's ready to kick you out of the house or whether you feel like you're in a thing, force him to talk next. And force him to give you a price. So I'm going to tell him when he finally vomits all over me, I'm going to tell him, okay, Bob, what's your counter? I'm going to force him to give me some kind of a price. So let's say he was at 94, I did 55. He's like, well, hell, I could do 91, whatever. Doesn't matter. So now he gives me price. I go in way low. I shut up. I force him to give me a price. He comes down, hopefully a little bit again. It's now my turn. Here's another huge mistake you guys make. Is because, again, it's all this psychological crap, uncomfortable and uncomfortable. He's like, wow, you only came down like $2,000. So you automatically think, you got to pop way up there, right? You're not even realize it, but you're going to pop right to his price. You're going to go into an 88, 85. I'm going to go up, but I'm going to go up in what kind of increments? Small. Again, psychologically. I'm going to go up, but remember, write this down. Negotiate in small increments. Because every time you go up in price, you're telling the guy or the lady that they're winning. They're forcing you up. But they're not astute enough to understand negotiations, so a lot of times they don't even realize that you're going up in small increments. So from 55, I would never go up above 60. Maybe 57. I'm going to go back and forth, back and forth. When do I stop? When do I know this thing is dead? We go back to the rule of what? 3. So that means that's another reason why you got to go up in small increments. You have to give yourself room. Got to give yourself room. So now, let's say I got him down to 85, whatever. He's at 85, 85. He's like, Pete, 85, that's it. I ain't going down any longer, any lower. Let's say by the time he's at 85, he's got me up to maybe, I don't know, 75, 77. Let's say that's not a price where I can buy this house. 77 is too much. Or 85 is too much. So watch this. This is very important. This is why someone like me can buy 100 properties a month, and most people think they're winning when they do 1 deal a month. Write this down. Put it under contract. The whole point of this initial negotiations is one thing. It has very little to do with price. See, everyone looks at negotiations from a price perspective. Well, I needed to be here, he didn't come down here, so I didn't get the right price, so I'm done. This is the whole point of the initial negotiations for one thing, guys. Write this down. To see if you have a motivated seller. It's not about the price. It's to figure out whether or not you have a motivated seller. What makes a motivated seller? It's none of the crap everyone thinks. What do y'all think? Divorce, death, birth. You're looking for those, right? You're buying those lists. Waste of time. I don't buy those lists. It's not what makes a motivated seller. What makes a motivated seller, write it down, is someone who's willing to do a reasonable price drop. It has nothing to do with anything other than someone that's willing to do a reasonable price drop. A reasonable price drop is somewhere between 15+% reduction in price. That's what makes a motivated seller. So look, think about this. I should be changing your perspective how to look at negotiations. The first part, this is all just the beginning negotiations, and the only thing here we're looking for, do we got a motivated seller? A motivated seller, someone to do 15+% price drop. We got him. You went from, let's say, 100 to 85, 15%. He's motivated. So all of my people are instructed at this point put it under contract. Even, obviously, if at 85 it's a grand slam deal, I don't have to tell you that, right? You're putting it under contract. But if it's not a deal, let's say I'm at 77, he's at 85, I'm putting it under contract. Watch. Because remember, negotiations is a process, guys. This is where so many investors, why real estate is littered with rooms like this, people make no money. It's great for guys like me, because you don't understand, most people don't understand the essence of real estate. It's not deals, it's not even real estate, it's this shit. Oh, I shouldn't say that. It's this stuff. But that's what it is, that's what real estate is, understanding some very basic fundamental principles. One of them is how to be a brilliant negotiator. Long time ago, I realized there's a couple things I got to get good at. One of them, got to negotiate. If I can learn how to negotiate better than anyone, I can't lose. That's why I haven't lost in years in this business. So watch this. Most people are backing out. I'm at 70, he's at 90, no deal. Next. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Now watch what happens next. Watch what happens next. I'm tying it up. Getting it for $85,000. We're getting the contracts out. Like, all right, Bob, you got me. But watch this. Watch how I now prepare him for further negotiations. We're going to tie it up at 85. And whether you're doing this on the phone, whether you're doing this face-to-face, whether you're doing this through FaceTime, Skype, whatever, you could do this next step no matter what. It's best done in person. This is why I always encourage, unless you all have like 10 deals behind you, you should not be negotiating over the phone. I can negotiate over the phone. You shouldn't be negotiating over the phone. Because you're a lot more effective, and plus there's a couple things here I'm going to show you that's going to make you a lot more effective. So watch this. We're tying up the property, and now we're going to spin the whole thing and get them ready to do another price drop. And here's what we're going to do. And by the way, let me just tell you how important it is to be negotiating in person. So like I had would take inbound calls, my girls negotiate, and I always knew that the only reason I was successful as I was because I was a brilliant marketer. So we were just getting a bunch of inbound calls. When you take a bunch of inbound calls, even if you're an awful negotiator, you're just playing the numbers game, right? But many years ago, I realized, well, crap, how do I get all these people in person? So then what my negotiators do now, what my girls do now, is when they take the inbound call, they don't really do too much negotiations. You know what they do? They set an appointment for one of my people to go in the house. So now the goal, just to, let's say, in my Atlanta office, to have 60 people. Can you imagine 60 people on my behalf sitting in people's kitchen tables every day negotiating deals for me? That's pretty cool, right? But my point is there, even at my level, I realized that I got to figure out a system, and that's what I did. Figure out a system how to get off the phone negotiating, because they're not all like me. So how do you get off the phone? How do you get them in person? So here's what I do next. We negotiate, we put them under contract, and we team up for negotiations by saying this. All right, Bob, do me a favor. Here's what we got to do. I want you to show me everything that's wrong with this house. And my people are taught to say just like that. Remember, this is already the negotiations done. It's already done. And guess what happens when you get in the house? You're first going to look around, right? Now you're done, and all of a sudden you're spinning the monkey again. Well, show me what's wrong with it. See, when you this is what happens. Just try this. When you ask the seller what's wrong with the house, they will tell you what's wrong with the house. They will. But the reason you're asking them is you're preparing them for further negotiations. So here's what happens. So my people are taught to grab the person by the hand, and we're going to walk around. And even if there's nothing wrong with the house, there's always something wrong with the house, right? I mean, we all can find it. I don't even know how to change a light bulb, literally. I mean, I have to call somebody to change my light bulbs, but I can walk around this room and figure out something's wrong in this room. It's not that hard. But this is part of your negotiations tactic. So my people then walk around with the seller and they're like, well, yeah, this is a piece of crap and this sucks and this is awful and blah, blah, blah. And the sellers are actually telling them themselves, because let's face it, most of us are buying properties that are a little bit older, right? None of us are really doing new construction flips, you know, that's not where the money is. So it's very easy, whether you're doing commercial stuff, residential stuff, to find stuff wrong. And you start making a list. And by the way, if you're doing this on the phone, you could just do this on the phone. Bob, last time you were in the house, just from what you remember, what was wrong with it? So you're boom, 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 writing it down, and you're like, all right, I'm going to send my inspector in here, take a look at it and all this, right? But what I've just done is I've told Bob we're about ready to go down again. Because here's what happens. You know, we do send someone in there. Could be one of my kids, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But we want them to feel like somebody was in there. And then we call back the seller. And we go through the list that Bob gave me. And now watch how we do the list. This is very important. This is how we do the list. Bob, you told me we needed an AC unit. Or your house needed an AC unit. Now watch how I say this. This is very important because remember, you're dealing with people that are not experienced. That's the good thing. If you learn to become a brilliant negotiator, you're dealing with people that have no concept how to negotiate. I mean, think about it, if you're like a sports agent. Every day you're butting heads with somebody that's just as good as you. Here we have such an advantage. All you got to do is just freaking realize how to negotiate. You're negotiating against amateurs. So here's how we do this. Bob, you and I both agreed it needed an AC unit. You know, my guy went in there, you know, whatever, $4,000. And here's what I say next. Watch this. Bob, I'm going to eat half of it. So I'm going to eat the $2,000 right here, Bob. Bob, you told me you needed paint. Bob, hell, I'm going to eat half of that too. My guy said $3,000. I'm going to just eat a half. See, what I'm telling him, I'm going to eat it. See, now I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to make him feel like he's winning. Bob, I'm going to eat this, 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 I'm going to eat this. I'm going to eat half the roof, I'm going to eat half the AC, I'm going to eat this, I'm going to eat... Is he going to stop you? Hell no, because you're sitting here telling him you're eating it all, right? So he's just going to go and let you talk. In the end, you're like, well, Bob, you know, $10,000, I'm just going to go ahead and eat half of it. And watch what you do. By the way, guys, what I'm saying right now to everyone should make like total sense. This is like logical. Matter of fact, some of y'all are sitting here saying, well, that's stupid, that's so simple. Well, then why aren't you doing it? Life is not rocket science, but it's a matter of just doing some very basic principle things, because this stuff works. So watch this. Remember I told you, you're kind of messing with the seller a little bit. So watch how I get this price drop next. I then swing around to his side, kind of put my hand on him, not literally, like if I'm on the phone I can't do it. But even if I'm sitting across from a kitchen table from him, I just kind of, now I start butting up to Bob, and I say, Bob, listen, I tell you what, I'm going to eat half of it. When you renegotiate, write this down, get on his side. When you're negotiating, you're doing this. When you're renegotiating, it's time to switch the sides, and you're getting on his side. And this is what my people, this is what we say. Bob, can you help me out with the rest? I'm not going to say, Bob, I'm eating 5, you're eating 5. I'm going to swing around and say, Bob, help me out here. I'm going to eat 5. Can you help me out with the other 5? See, in negotiations, you got to learn how to play which side and what point. Can you help me out? See, very few people, a lot of people, when you go like this, will back up. Most people, because again, most people aren't strong, most people, when you swing to their side and you ask them, hey, Bob, listen, help me out in this last 5. Can you help me out on that? That's my next price drop right there. Now, a lot of times you won't get the full 5, but you will almost always get something right here. A little bit more of a price drop. So that's your next price drop. This one's called buddying up with him. Now I'm going to be buddies with him. Bob, help me out. What can you do? I'm gonna need half. I got it budgeted. I asked my money guy, you know, whatever, he'll fund a little bit more, but I need your help on the last 5. So I'm gonna do another price drop. Remember, any point in time here, you could get the deal to make sense, and when you do, you slap it under contract. I'm just playing out worst case scenarios where you're still not where you need to be. So let's say you got a little bit more of a price drop and you're still not at your strike price. Let's say you're still 5 grand, 10 grand away. Again, anywhere at any point during these negotiations, if you get the deal, lock it up. But let's just play this whole thing out to the worst case scenario. You don't get the deal. Let's say you just can't, you know. He's at 80, you're at 60 or whatever, and you're just like the strike price is at 70 or 75 or 65, whatever it is, and you've done everything you can. You just can't get it. It's at this point that now listen, this is not going to make any sense. It is at this point that I buy over 80% of my real estate. Think about this. At the point where no go, no deal, we're stuck, I can't even get them down, but over 80% of my purchases happen after that point on. That's pretty weird, right? So watch this. Here's what happens. Again, I'm going to say something that every one of you all knows. Very few of you do it, and very few of you do it correctly. Even fewer do it correctly. So if I'm still, 20 grand apart, 10 grand apart, whatever apart I am. Oh crap, that's my phone. I literally just picked this up when I was playing. Here. Oh. I don't know, you know how to turn it off? As long as there's nothing bad playing on it. Oh, got it. Okay. Thanks. Thanks a lot. That's no help. I'm gonna shut it off. All right. I shut the off button. That shuts it down. Okay, watch this. 80% of my deals are done at no-go. When everyone here thinks, it ain't a deal, man. I did everything he said. I did the 4 steps. I did the reinspection. I did the renegotiations. Man, Pete's an idiot. So here's what happens. Here's why I get 80% of my deals when it's a no. What do we do at this point? Anybody give me some ideas. Why is it 80% of my deals happen here when it's a no-go? Well, yeah, you could try to take it away, but let's say it's a no, it says hard no. Because what do we do as a unit in my offices? Starts with an F. Follow up. All of this, here's kind of how none of you guys look at real estate, and how none of you look at real estate, how none of you look at negotiations, and how guys like me look at it. In the beginning, we negotiate to see if we have a motivated seller. In the end, we negotiate just to set up a follow-up. That's it. Everyone here looks at negotiations. See deal, try to do the deal. I've been doing this for 20 years, guys. I don't see deal, do deal. You think I could buy 100 properties a month just finding good deals? There's not enough inventory. No way. No frickin' way. Only reason we negotiate is for 2 reasons. On the first negotiations, to see how a motivated seller, 15+% price drop, and we just try to get them to the point that we can put them inside our follow-up system. That's all. So when you walk into my offices across the country, you see a lot of activity going on. And then, it's all electronic now, but if it was in files, you would see files this big. Follow-up files. That's all real estate is, guys. Whoever has the biggest follow-up files wins in the game. 80% of my deals Think about this. I'm a great negotiator. I'm a brilliant negotiator. I can't negotiate good enough. 80% of my deals don't even happen as a result of my negotiation skills. And remember, I get crazy price drops. Remember, 30, 40, 50%. That's still not enough most of the time to make it a good deal. But what I'm great at, and what my people are great at, it's all about the follow-up. So tonight, when you leave this meeting, and you're still trying to figure out why the hell am I making any money, go home and see how big your follow-up file is. I don't need to talk to any of you all. Is that Southern, does that sound Alabama? You all? I don't need to talk to anybody here. All I need to do, I could go up and down the road and tell you exactly how many deals you guys are doing. Just looking at what's in your follow-up system. I got the biggest follow-up system in the country. I know it because I know all the big investors in the country, and we all talk. But we all have huge follow-ups. So here's what happens in my world. The call center girls, then know, every 30 days we go in a follow-up mode. We spend, 4 or 5 days, nothing but follow-ups. And that's when we do all our deals, those 4 or 5 days. The other 20 days, we still try to get some deals done. But that's luck. You're just catching somebody at the right time. There's no, some of y'all think you're, wow, I got this fantastic deal. No, you got lucky. I get lucky. The 20 to 25 days in the month are designed to create follow-up. The 4 to 5 days is designed to kill it. That's when I tell them, now it's time to frickin' kill it. And they absolutely kill it. All of my deals happen in 4 to 5 day increments every 30 days. So most of your guys' time is spent creating new. I got it. Important. We spend 25 days a month creating new. But we make all our money 4 to 5 days a month, working the follow-ups. All this negotiations is designed to see if you got a motivated seller, get them down as low as you can, and throw them inside the follow-up system. Everything that happens in the front end, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, is luck. You just happen to catch them at a good time. That's all. There's no skill set. That's why I got here when Brian was talking, introducing me. He was talking about bandit signs. So I said, put 500 bandit signs out. You're going to get lucky. Really, that's it. But you can't build a consistent business off of luck. You can't do 100 deals a month. You can't have the kind of lifestyle. Guys, I live in the water, got a boat, drive 6-figure cars, work out a couple times a week. Not a week, a day. Ooh, a day. I got a lifestyle to kill for. I'm always amazed when I talk to people that are like sitting here month after month after month and you're not freaking killing it. To me, that's amazing. When people interview me and ask me, and there's one question that I was asked all the time, one consistent question gets asked every time. And here's the question. What would you do different? 20 years ago, if you knew what I know, if I know now what I back then, what would I do different? My answer is the same. If I truly believe how good this was, if I truly believe how good this business was, I would have done it 10 times harder and faster. And I had already worked my ass off when I was doing this. I managed to go in this business and I lost everything I had, and I had just sold a company with 100 employees. I had a lot of money going into real estate and I lost it all. I lost it to the point where I was sleeping in my car. I had one meal a day. You know what that meal was? Stopping in hotels like this in the morning to get free breakfast. So when people say, well, it's so freaking hard, this is so easy now compared to what I had. I was putting bandit signs out and I was falling asleep on exits. I remember cops pulling in thinking I was drunk driver because I was so tired. Just putting bandit signs in the middle of the night. Now with everything y'all have, technology, innovation, ability to leverage, ability to listen to guys like me who are killing it, I paid the ultimate price in this business. And I'm telling you guys, I would do it over again. I would do it 10 times quicker. I'd work 10 times harder. You don't know what it feels like to fly in your own jet? Just for that, it's worth like doing 20 deals. Y'all sitting in a gold mine here. And some of y'all have been coming here too freaking long. And you've been listening to seminars too long and webinars, and it's all BS. Freaking do something. It's almost embarrassing. I would be embarrassed coming back. Like, I'm destroying Brian's group right here. But I would be. There's no freaking way that I would do anything like this and keep on coming back and my ass be broke. No way. I would never do it. Some of y'all have been coming here too much, too long to have nothing to show for it. Some of y'all are literally like going backwards. It's amazing to me. If you do nothing else but understand what I taught you here today, nothing else, like literally nothing else, you could make a killing just with that one thing. But now let me tell you why I'm really here. It's not why I'm here. This was just like a little thing I just thought about and over here. It was good stuff. But here's why I'm here. So I've been doing this for many years, and here's what I realized. I realized some months ago that this market is getting tougher, right? You all know. Is it getting tougher here? Yeah, it's getting tougher everywhere. Because, you know, real estate's cyclical. We all know that, right? Every life is cyclical. You know, good relationship, bad relationship. This, that, you know. Good market, bad market. It's life. And remember, my stronghold was in 3 states. Florida, Georgia, California. It was getting tougher and tougher. So I was trying to figure out how in the heck, man, I was like, because you got to be ahead of the curve in life. To be a good businessman, you got to be ahead of the curve. You can't be reactive, you got to be proactive, right? So I was like beating my head against the wall. How do I do this? So I came up with this brilliant idea that now this thing has just exploded all over the place. I mean, literally on the way over here, I got my social media guy here with me. Who was I talking to on the phone?
Nothing but people wanting to do you.
Yeah, but who from LA?
Oh, the people that want to do the reality.
Yeah, I mean, I got reality TV folks call me all the time now. I mean, it's crazy. This is what's happening now. Listen to this. This is life-changing. That's life-changing if you do it. I know most of y'all won't, so who cares? This is really cool, I'm about to tell you. So some time ago, I realized I need to do more deals. How do I do more deals? Because really my cost of acquisitions was going up, all this stuff was happening, and I came up with this idea, right? I started going through my social media. By the way, if you're not doing social media, you're like killing yourself. Got to do social media in this business. I could talk for 3 hours about social media. But I got this idea. I said, well, how do I do more deals? So I kind of got on my social media for a couple days, and I just started saying this. I said, look, if you're anywhere in the United States and you got a deal, and you found the deal, call me, and I'll fund the deal. You find it, I fund it. And that's kind of where the whole thing started. And I started kind of going to my social media, and I just started talking about it, right? Hey, you find it, I fund it, right? Fund it means not just use my capital, that means my team will help you all the way through the process. And guys, this has taken off like hotcakes. I mean, I could tell you stories of single moms in Miami with 6 kids found a deal. We're splitting 50-some thousand to 20-year-old kid. It was just crazy. I mean, the social media started exploding, and people started calling all over the United States. We were getting like 200 inquiries at a time. Hey, I got this deal here, I got this deal here, right? So this is how every one of y'all can benefit from knowing me. I want to do more deals, and I want to do it with people like you all. Really, with anyone. I do. So, if you guys have a deal, I want to partner with you. I want to partner with you. You find it and I'll fund it. Now, working with me is freaking really cool. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because when you work with me, you work with my whole team. Okay? The way it works is this. If you find a deal, look, if you could brilliantly execute this deal yourself, you don't need me. I got it. But this is for some of y'all that don't have the right money, don't have the right expertise, don't have the right infrastructure, don't have whatever it takes. Because, you know, in real estate, it's more than just money, right? So my whole team then steps in. So like you found a deal, right? You get a hold of, let's say, me. We'll have you go through a couple initial steps to figure out if it's a good deal. We just have a couple local real estate agents check it out on your behalf. If it meets that requirement, then the deal goes to us. We go through our internal due diligence. If it still passes, and if it passes yours, it should pass ours, because the way we'll tell you how to do it. And then I'll give you 100% of the capital to buy it. I'll give you 100% of the capital to fix it. My team will help you with the fixing of it if you need fixing it. We'll sell it and we'll split the profits. Simple as that. Why do you want to do this? I get it. If you're equipped to do it yourself, I know you don't need me. But when you do a deal with me, you're going to be a better investor. You'll learn from us. You'll understand intricacies of a deal that you yourself have no concept. After doing 3,500 deals, there's things I know how to spin that you don't even imagine that exist in real estate. You'll make more with me, even though we're splitting it 50-50, than you will by yourself. Simple as that. So each one of you write down my phone number, write it down. And then I'm going to have one other thing to tell you. It's 404, yeah, see, I can give out my phone number. 404-915-9685. 404-915-9685.
What's your last name again?
It's Peter Vekselman, V as in Victor, E-K-S-E-L-M-A-N. You will, without a shadow of a doubt, not only be a better investor as a result of working with me, but you'll do more deals. Because we will then start kind of, you'll get into our system. You'll understand how to fix something. You'll understand how to sell something. You'll understand what it means not to worry about money. You'll understand how, we'll even sometimes help you in the front end negotiations. You'll understand how to do the inspection piece and all that. What type of properties? Any but the very first properties always have to be houses. So ultimately we can get into bigger stuff, but in the beginning it's always the very first couple deals always have to be houses. Because those are easy no-brainers, like boom, slam, bam, we make money, we're all happy. So don't call with, skyscrapers or commercial deals. We could work up to that, but we will only start with single-family homes because we want to get to know you. We want to feel comfortable with you, and we want you to feel comfortable with us, with the whole process. And guys, I'm telling you, this you find it, I fund it deal has taken off like hotcakes. I mean, literally, we have people all over the United States who are hearing about this that are just blowing us up. Moms, dads, kids, families, wannabe investors. Experiences like today, on the way over here, I finalized a deal in Texas, 3 properties from a guy that's been doing this longer than I have. But he went through a nasty situation, lost a lot, and now he needs to regroup. His name is Tony. Tony and I are gonna freaking kill it. Because he's already got the expertise in finding it, he just needed someone like me to be able to put the infrastructure in. And we're gonna absolutely kill it together. And by the way, if you work with me, you better be a killer. If you work with my team, you gotta be a killer. Don't be passive, don't be shy, don't be whining. Don't complain, don't bitch, because my people do not handle that. It's like all out, balls to the wall, and we get them done. And we'll get them done quick, and you'll make a lot of money, and you'll be happy, and maybe I'll come out visit you, we'll do a cool video, we'll get on a reality show. Here's the third thing I want to talk to you about. Some of y'all don't know how to find it even. That's why you're here. Most people that are doing 100 deals a month aren't showing up at meetings like this. Sorry. Sorry, Brian. So a lot of y'all just don't even know. And you're like, well, I'd love to do it. I just don't even know how to do it. The third option is that we have an educational system you can come through. Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking about it today, but on educational stuff, we do stuff that blow your mind. Like we help you with finding them. For instance, how many deals in the first month? 4. 4 deals first month. Good job. And so on our educational stuff, I think we did this for you too, right? Or I'm not sure we do it for everyone else. But like for instance, you have the ability to go to your market, identify certain properties, boom, email the addresses to us, and I'll pay for all the skip tracing. I'll pay for my girls to do all the research, and we'll get you all the information. Here's who owns it, here's the phone number, boom, 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 boom. How'd you find your 4?
Driving for dollars.
There you go, that's driving for dollars right there. You got the information back to us when we did it, see? 4 deals in the first 30 days. Not bad. But he invested in himself. Not a lot of money, right? Not to what you're making. So if you want to come through the edges, if you don't know how to find it, and you don't know how to even get to that, like, well, hell, shit, I don't even know how to gotta find a freaking deal. You can come through the educational side, and we'll teach you. And when we teach you, you will make money with us. You will make money now. Our people make money because we're very hands-on. I'm still partnering with you. And so on the educational side, we do it for about 12 months, and I'll do about 15 deals with you. And we'll split those profits. I'll even wholesale some deals with you. You're like, well, why the hell do I need you for wholesaling? Because I know how to wholesale better than you know how to wholesale. And there's things I know how to do on the wholesale side and you won't even know are illegal. Seriously. You think are illegal. They're not illegal and I know how to do them. So the first 2 or 3 deals that we'll do together may be actually wholesale deals. And you do need me because, again, I know how to wholesale stuff that you're like, wow, how the hell did he do that? Is that possible? So we'll do some wholesale deals, we'll do some fix and flips, with the goal is to do about 15 of them. So if you want to come through the educational side, and again, my whole team steps in on the educational side. Like I said, we skip trace for you, we research for you. You use, Mary's my closer. Mary's closed thousands of deals for me. When you come in through our educational side, you use my closer. She takes the file and close. Can you imagine having freaking a 6-figure closer working for you personally on deals? That's what you get when you come through there. My closer, you will show you how to find it. Boom, hand the file to Mary. Mary's like, okay, closing date. You don't have to worry about it, nothing. Because closing is a process, right? So you use my employees, literally. Why do I do that? It's not about the fees we collect on the education side, because those really go to pay everyone in my team, like the Marys of the world, the Lauras of the world, Julies of the world. The fees go to pay them. It's because I want to do more deals. So when I realized a little while ago, man, it's harder to get deals, I said, well, I'm going to open up the whole United States, and I'm going to get deals from everybody. And then we took it a step further, and we said, because a lot of people started inquiring, and like, well, I want to do a deal with you, I don't know how to do it. Then we said, okay, well, let's just bring it. See, before an educational side, we would not partner with you, we would just teach you. The problem with just learning in real estate, you guys know what the problem with learning, right? There's a million miles between knowing something and doing something in real estate, right? Let me just show you something, guys. Watch this, listen to this. For those of you that like walk out of here and think I'm full of shit, I'm going to show you something that's going to change your... Well, I'm sure some people will. I don't care. Listen to this. This right here has nothing to do with real estate. This is life-changing. For some of you guys are here in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And I bet every one of you falls into this trap. So if right now, this is life-changing for every one of you. Watch this. This is the problem that every one of you all, this is why you're here month after month. This is why you're in these stupid seminars, webinars. It's probably too hard, right? But this is why, and here's why it's not working. Listen to this, watch this. This is why what you're doing is not working. This is it right here. This is you, let's say this is your life, right? Your whole life, even the reason you're here, you have been misled because you are constantly being told, get better, learn more, Work harder. Study more. Right? That's why you're here, because you're trying to learn something else. It's a huge mistake. Why? Follow me, follow me. This is life-changing. Here's the reality that all of you guys know, you just don't admit it. I don't care how much you study, I don't care how much you learn, I don't care how much you do anything. We only have certain capacity. None of y'all will ever out-negotiate me. I promise you. Sorry. See, I can get, listen to this, I can get on a basketball court for the next 5 years, 20 hours a day, practice with the best basketball coach in the world. Will I ever be able to beat LeBron James? No. See, follow what I'm saying here. This is the problem all you guys are facing. It's your jobs and your personal lives and your social lives, and you better freaking believe it in real estate. You're working on yourselves because the world teaches you, work on yourself. That's so stupid because it's true, you only have certain capacity. I don't care how much we all practice basketball, but watch this, listen to this, listen. Take LeBron James. Forget me practicing one moment. If I align myself with LeBron James, am I automatically going to be better? If he and I play someone? Yeah. See, that's the trick to real estate. Quit freaking trying to get better. That's the trick to life. Quit trying to better yourself. Quit it. I know it's totally counterintuitive. I don't do it. I don't do it at all. You know what I do? I get naturally better, but I know I'm only so good. Watch this. This is how you blow this line out. See, y'all are playing in this game right here. This is amateur league. See, LeBron James is always LeBron James. He was always LeBron James. He didn't just become LeBron James because he practiced more than anyone else. Even he only has certain capacity to get better, right? He just started right here, and most of us start here. But that's it. It's wherever you start, you only have certain capacity. I promise you. This is why guys like me are successful. I blow this line up here. It's all about aligning yourself. It's all about alignment. You gotta learn how to align yourself the right way with the right people. See, if you align yourself with me and I negotiate your next 100 deals, it don't matter how freaking stupid you are or how smart you are, you're going to do better, right? Because you align yourself with someone better. I spend all my time, you know, people say, well, gosh, Pete, you say like you only show up at the office for an hour a week. I do. You know why? Because I can't relate to a $15 employee who works for me. There's no reason for me to be there. What am I going to say to a $15 employee? You want to get McDonald's? What can I possibly do there? I work as hard as anyone. Me not showing up at the office has nothing to do with me not working hard. I work harder than probably most of y'all here. I get up at 4 o'clock each morning. I get my first workout in by 6. My whole day, I'm aligning myself. My whole day, I'm aligning myself. Once a month, I have a buddy of mine flying, different friends flying in, and the only goal for that one day, one a month, the only reason they can come in, they have to make at least $1 million a month. $1 million a month, and then we spend the time for one day. No agenda, no nothing. We're just talking. Just talking. Maybe jump on my boat, go sit at a cigar shop. It's all about alignment. See, I could talk to a guy like that at his level, at my level. So the reason you guys do want to find it and let me fund it is you want to align yourself with me. The reason if you're sitting here month after month and you still have 0 to show for it, it's not Brian's fault. It's not even your fault. You're just kind of sort of capped out. You're not going to get that much better. Sorry. You're not going to hear somebody one day get up and say, well, if you just say this to a seller, everything changes. Bullshit. You're just so good. You're just so good. Sorry. So you got to align yourself. It's all about alignment. That's what I do every day. I find people to hang out with every day, every day, every day. If I wanted to be a basketball player, I'd try to hang out. I would hang out with the best basketball players. I wanted to be a surgeon, I would find the best surgeons. I'm a businessman. So my whole days, I'm just hanging out with business guys, business guys, business guys, business guys. I align myself. When you align yourself with everyone who's not doing anything, guess what? Sorry. That right there's the trick. The reason you want to find it, let me fund it, you want to align yourself. The reason if you don't know how to find it, you want to come through educational stuff, is you want to align yourself. It's all about alignment. 100% unequivocal alignment. Don't get it? That's how you bust out of your miserable life. Well, someone said miserable life. But to some of y'all it is, right? Some of y'all are miserable. I'm not picking on how much you're making or where you live. I don't care about that. Some of y'all already know that whatever you're doing is miserable to what you want, right? Well, guys, I'll tell you about my lifestyle. I don't want to sit here and there's not a one of you that wouldn't change with it. Not because of the stuff. That's all. By the way, it probably is because of the stuff. But it's also because of all the other cool shit. It's all the other stuff. I can hang with my 3 kids. Like, you know, it's during the day, it's like if there's a ball game, it's like 12 moms and 1 dad. Because every other dad's at work. I can do whatever the heck I want to do, when I want to do it. I don't have an alarm clock. Never, you know, somebody told me today, you know, we're doing a photo shoot, and they said, well, put on an expensive watch. I don't need a watch. I don't need a watch. Give a crap what time it is. But it's because a long time ago I realized I'm not really that smart. And I'm not. I'm not just saying this to be relatable. I'm really not. When I graduated Miami U, I was the bottom. Go to year I graduated. I was the bottom guy to graduate. Never had a lot of things going for me. Been through ups and downs in life. I told you, been as broke as any of you all here. None of you, there's probably none of you here that's been as broke as I have before. Didn't come from, immigrated to this country, started with 0 when I was, when I was growing up. So didn't have a lot of money from my parents. Had great parents, supportive parents, but didn't have money there. Didn't come from the right side of the tracks. Didn't do good in school. I did so bad in school, forget getting a job, I couldn't even get an interview. I literally couldn't even get an interview. So it wasn't education, nothing. But somewhere along the line, I realized, shit, I'm not that smart. I don't like to study, so that's when that thing started making sense to me, because even the little capacity I had, I wasn't even tapping into it. But then I started getting around some really sharp dudes. I'm like, holy shit, you mean you could do this, and you could do that? And that's how the thing started growing for me in life. It's all 100% unequivocal about alignment. It almost doesn't matter how smart you are. It almost doesn't matter if you get this negotiations or don't. You find it, let me fund it. You don't know how to find it, let me teach you. Align yourself. When you align yourself, you go from this learning curve and then stop to just like that. That make sense? I'm done.